And today we're going to hand it over to Brad Turpin, who is our Encompass Lending partner, to talk about all the agent benefits that we have that they have been providing and will provide to you as well. The slide deck is some more details about this from our orientation presentation, but then Brad has, I'm sure, more things. And if there's any questions on any of this material, we'll hand that over to Brad. So Brad, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Krista. Good morning, everybody. And so what I'll do is I'll start sharing my screen with you guys just so you can see the slide deck that Chris is referring to. We'll kind of do a quick run through, and then I'll give a little further explanation on what everything is. All right, everybody can see that? Cool. All right, so essentially, these are the different facets of Fathom. The reason this is important is because if you've been on any of the town hall meetings, you've heard our head of Fathom, discuss his mission statement and dreams of what Fathom Realty will look like. And ultimately, Fathom Realty will look like a relatively free service to you guys working under the umbrella. And that is done with these other facets that Fathom Holdings owns, right? So that's us at Encompass Lending Group, IntelliAgent, Ferris Title, which although that's not in California yet, they are just about to be launched. They're waiting for one more approval. I think they're 1 week away from Arizona, and then I think by the end of the year is what I've been told from Ferris Title. And then we've got insurance, and they're continuing looking to grow. And as I'm sure you saw, they just created a merger and acquisition with the Home Group in Arizona, and that's going to be really huge as well, and bring completely different systems into place. Once they get everything together, that's going to be more robust and better for everybody. And so, whoops, didn't mean to cross over that one. So this is Krista and Joseph Bradley, and then obviously our state broker within California. And then we've got a little example of our team here, which, I represent our West Coast, and working to build and grow that entirely for that. Now, just to give you a little background, Encompass Lending was acquired by Fathom Holdings back in 2020 or 2021. And, so being part of the Encompass family, or the Fathom family, we are under the same roof, and our job is to support you guys and do it through a partnership and a relationship that aids you guys to get better business. And we do that through a few different things. One, partnering with you, right, to drive more business, and that's done through open house flyers. When we bring a borrower on board to close, we are a direct lender, so we also are a broker. And so what that means is that we are able to provide the best service to our clients, and that's so we can, definitely get the deals that have a little more, bite to them, have some teeth. We can get those done, but then we can also broker out for some of the other challenging items as far as non-QM, DSCR, which is debt service for your investors for buying investment properties, bank statement loans, all the way down to land acquisition, construction loans, as well as commercial. So we basically are a one-stop shop for all your clients' lending needs. And then once we close, then you get the benefit of having a 3-year loyalty program. And what that means is that it's a co-branded, once you opt in after your first one, it's a co-branded touch to your clients for the next 3 years after closing. And that's touched usually through email, sometimes through postcard, and it's done once a month, co-branded with your loan officer and yourself. And so that's a great way to stay in front of your clients without having to absorb the cost of a CRM, although some agents still utilize a full CRM, like IntelliAgent, but IntelliAgent is a little more as an ability to track your people and give you more tasks-minded items, so that you can stay in front by calling your database. It's not really quite up to the speed of being a full CRM, and that's why we offer this program as a result of it. So it's really kind of an enhancement to it. As well as milestone updates, hybrid closing, which is huge. Essentially, what that means is that instead of the borrower signing a big fat loan document package, they are getting 90% of those loan docs emailed to them ahead of time, doing electronically signature, like DocuSign, and then wrapping it up with the notary for the deed and the note. What that does is that it makes for very speedy closing. Those docs are usually sent 48 hours ahead of time so that title has everything in hand. Borrowers have reviewed everything, and then the closing can happen seamlessly. In the marketing of your portal, once you get certified as Hometown Heroes, Hometown Heroes is a proprietary program that's offered only to the Fathom family. And what that is that if you haven't been certified yet, get with me. We can get you certified. And for those that already are, you already know how valuable of a program it is. It's a great way to become that community agent. It operates to give credits back to first responders. That'll include your law enforcement, your firefighters, as well as medical, nurses, doctors. And then it even branches out to county and city employees, which then covers your educational systems as well. And so it's about 30% of the workforce, and every agent will have somebody of that nature in their sphere of influence or in their database that they can capitalize on. And then we've got some great strategies on how to build that and turn that into a live lead generator for you as becoming the community agent, if you will. And one example of it would be we've got a couple agents that'll actually go to their local fire station. You can partner up with a local coffee shop, because a lot of coffee shops, especially the ma pa style coffee shops, will donate coffee for first responders. So if you go in, you get to know the owner. Guess what? Now you're part of the community there. Then you can go in every Friday, example, take coffee into the fire station and get to know them on a one-on-one basis. And then you can even branch that out to doing lunch and learns, doing some fundraising, whatever the case may be. It's a great opportunity to become embedded into your community. And then with that, that's a lead generator. And then we also have, other lead generation through other facets, but that's the biggest one. And then we always look to help you with your, transaction coordinator through the process of closing. But then we're also expanding out and utilizing a lot of the facets that Fathom family has to offer. So what we've done recently, if you've been part of the CCEP program, that's the Consumer Counseling Education Program. And if you haven't, get with me and we'll discuss it. I am working on setting up a couple more follow-up Zooms with it because some people haven't been able to hit up the last couple that we've had. But as the short of it is this, it's a credit counseling for your credit challenged individuals. And so if you're at an open house, you meet somebody and they say, well, we're just in no position to buy, we have some challenges on our credit. And a lot of people think that they just can't buy, period, moving forward. And that's wrong and incorrect. So what we do is we'll take that individual from you, guide them, educate them. And but instead of doing it like a credit repair company, because we know how those operate. They usually first thing they do is ask for a credit card number. Once they acquire that credit card number, they charge it, usually 100, 100 a quarter a month, run it for about 9 to 12 months. They don't do anything that the borrower can't do themselves. And in a lot of cases, they turn them back and they're worse off than where they were when it comes to buying a home, because they don't have anything in their systems to look at and evaluate for home ownership. They just do it based on, we want to get that score up. And that's not necessarily the case in all scenarios. So what we do is we take a somewhat of a holistic approach, and but been in doing this a long time and knowing how to evaluate credit for loan purchasing, we will advise and educate your clients to do what's necessary so that we can get them approved for a home loan, and that's the main and only focus. And then we hand them back to you with an approval letter so you can take them out shopping, and that's all free to you and your clients. And that's powerful because even if you're closing one extra deal as a result of it, that's worth its weight in gold. So that same premise of partnering is also where we're now tied up on a pilot program here for the West Coast. And everyone part of Krista and Joseph's district is part of that pilot program. And that's with Fathom Business Systems. And what that is that we've teamed up with them to bring coaching and betterment to the real estate agent across the board. And Fathom realized that their on-site videos or on the website videos, giving you some teaching lessons and some coaching just wasn't quite up to speed, might be a little bit outdated. So now we've got group sessions. We had one a week ago or 10 days ago, Krista, going on 2 weeks. And so that one was talking about business planning. And instead of, you've been in the industry long enough, typical business planning for a real estate agent is, figure out how much you want to make per year, what your average commission would be, calculate how many deals you need to close, and then that would reverse calculate into how many calls you make. But that doesn't give you any insight to success, to how you want to run your business, what type of agent, any of those things. And that's where this comes into play. And so as a result of that, I'm just going to pull up the flyer for it because we've got one coming up tomorrow. I want to make sure that everybody is aware of that as a follow-up to the last call. And it's important because we want everybody to be on there. We want everybody to be part of it. All right, so now there's that.
Yeah, they should have had an email go out today with a link to
I saw that right before you sent out for Monday. But I just want to bring it to everybody's attention. And so you want to make sure and be on this call. It's usually about an hour and a half, as the last one was, and we have yet to see or hear from anybody on the last one that didn't find extreme value in it. And it's really starting to take everybody by surprise in the sense of the amount of content and the amount of value that it's bringing. So we invite you all to be on it. But we're doing this free of charge to you as well. And Encompass is teaming up with them, cover their costs. And we're doing it in a couple reasons. One, obviously to make you better. And if you're becoming a better agent and we're behind the cause of that, then we want you to work with us. But we're also doing it because of the Fathom family, and we want to bring added value to you and your purpose of being here, which is why we do the CCEP, which is why we're doing this, which is why we have the Hometown Heroes, and bringing things that you can't normally get anywhere else. And so with that, then obviously we're looking for you to partner with us and build a successful relationship that will stand the sands of time and help you be a better role in your community. The next phase of this, from what I'm being told, will then be more about sales and tactics. Right now, we're just doing business planning because it's the time of the year, and it's really important to get people on board for 2025 so that they can, crush it moving forward. Backpedaling a little bit just into the different types of programs. So being with direct lender, we are, Fannie, Freddie, FHA, VA, one of my favorite. Hometown Heroes then partners with that. Hometown Heroes also partners with the CCEP program, so we can double stack those, whereas CCEP won't double stack with any other promos. Example, if you're a newer agent or new to using Encompass Lending, your clients would get $1,000 credit for using us. But if they're into the CCEP program, then they wouldn't get that additional $1,000 credit. So just to make sure everybody's aware that, we run these promos to, help with your clients. But as we take on different roles and different partnering, we have to make sure that, we're not giving away the farm either. Then we have USDA also. And for those of you that are out in a little more rural area, USDA is an amazing program. Um, Very minimal down, if anything at all. Limited mortgage insurance, and it works for specific properties. So it starts off with the property itself. And so there's ways to check those properties, but if you're ever in doubt, feel free to reach out to me and we can get that checked for you at any point in time. And but it's a great tool for your clients to help with that dream of home ownership, as well as we have down payment assistance. Um, we have them at the state level, federal level, county level. It just depends on which one's going to best suit the needs of your buyer. We even have a lease to own program. So for some of those buyers that maybe the down payment assistance isn't quite right, they struggle with being able to get out from under inflation with the high cost of everything. We can get them into a property that actually closes in the hands of a holding company, and then they would lease from that holding company. So the beauty of that is that as a real estate agent, you get paid on that closing right away versus, locating a seller that's looking to, lease to sell. And then basically, the leases are in place for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, whatever that time period is, before it actually transfers hands in the closing process. So that allows you to collect a paycheck immediately, and then the clients get to start leasing. They're going to rent anyway. What better way? And then that will carry over to a portion of it will carry over into their down payment. And then once they have the down payment saved for an FHA loan, which then usually is about 3 years time period, then it changes hands from the holding company to the client officially. And then they are in a regular FHA loan moving forward. What else is there? There are open house flyers, co-branded flyers with Hometown Heroes. Um, with the open house flyers, I usually send people not only the property flyer, which will have a some loan options on there, but it'll have the listing, it'll have the address, it'll have property pictures, and then I usually will send a few other flyers like the CCEP, like the Hometown Heroes, and or home, maybe a vet, maybe it just depends on what you're looking to accomplish and where your property is located. But that way you have different flyers to hand out to different people depending on who comes into your open house. So it gives you definitely different conversation pieces, and then they get to walk away with the flyer with your information on it. And we can even set up websites for those properties as well. Although IntelliAgent offers the same thing, so we don't do too many of those, but it's more so for if somebody is coming on board, they haven't quite onboarded yet, and they need help with getting that squared away, we have access to do so. What else, Krista? Can you think of anything else I'm missing?
Well, yeah, one question I had on the loan side, I remember you were telling us about this lease to own one, and it was kind of along the conversation of if you've got like family members who want to buy together, like parents who are buying a condo for their college student, right? Where they're purchasing in the college town or something like that. That was one.
Mm-hmm.
What's another way that it could be used?
Um, well, there's a couple different things. So I mean, if you're looking at so if you're looking at kitty condos, those are great, right? Because if you've got a student that's in um, college, they're not necessarily working full time. They're not going to have the ability to repay debt. So parents could then co-sign for that child to get into something right away. Um, then there's also, just the sheer basis of just getting in. Maybe they're going to be renting the rooms out to somebody else. So they might be experiencing what our case looks like payment shock, where they're, moving out of living at home. And they've got a couple of friends of theirs that, are going to rent rooms from them. We can look at those as well, depending on the situation there, because we'll look at that as called border income, and they can actually qualify using that border income So that helps them to get the benefit of the home ownership entirely. Rather than getting in partnership with somebody or like a roommate that, what if that friendship goes sideways? Now they're stuck in a contracted ownership of a property. That can get really dicey, especially if there's no, marriage there. Um, right. And a lot of times people get into those situations, they don't have operating agreements and things of that nature. So that's another great avenue is using border income to, qualify them and getting into that home.
Yeah, I think that's really, really great. I think a lot of us are talking to first time buyers, and first time buyer seminar would be a really good way for you to kind of explain, hey, here's many, many options for you to get into a property, where you don't have to necessarily do it on only your income. One of the questions I had too on the list, if you can go back to what Encompass does. I know I've talked to my agents about this, about the virtual ISA and calling through their database. Can you share where that one is? I know it's on that PowerPoint slide.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the PowerPoint without stopping sharing. There it is. Um, yeah, so the ISA piece, so ISA was a program that was allowed for Fathom agents to upload their database and then be able to have um, essentially real results, which is Fathom's call center, be able to reach out and touch base with them on your behalf. Now, I do know that the ISA program was suspended a couple months ago for agents, and however, they have that open to us where we can upload that database for you and have those, have real results, then reach out to your databases accordingly except for under the current status right now, because I just reached out to them on one of our agents that had some buyers and had a whole list of stuff that he had purchased, and we were looking to get that jumped on. But unfortunately, right now, Real Results, that's the only reason I didn't bring it up and wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Real Results is tied up with a couple other projects at the moment,
Okay.
and one of which is the summit that's up and coming next week. So we invite you all to come to that if you haven't. I think there's an extra window open for people adding themselves and or their team members to come to that. That'll be in Vegas next week from the 11th through the 14th. I myself will be there. I know Krista's going. And if any of our newer agents would like to go, I think there's an opportunity we can still get you added up through today or tomorrow, right, Krista?
Yeah. It's closing quickly.
Yeah, because they have to be able to print badges and make sure that everything is ready. So that's why it is closing very quickly. But they're trying to squeeze in everybody they can. Um, but with that, their resources have been pulled to that, and they've been pulled to. They've got another pilot program that they're doing, which is buyowner.com,
Okay.
and that's essentially selling lead generation that they're working on, trying to drive business to real estate agents within Fathom Family.
Got it.
And so they're trying to launch that as well as a couple other things. So they've got a lot of things in the mix. But yes, if you have a database and it's something you're interested in, I was actually just talking to my boss this morning about that very thing because of them being consumed. Currently, we're looking at various options to maintain that because we already had people that were in the program that they're working to maintain and keep those going, but we don't want them to fall short, nor do we want to turn away anybody as well. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely let me know. It's just might not be as seamless as it used to be.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I had brought that up to some of the agents as well.
Yep.
I think a lot of us are kind of like, how can we kind of, stir the
Well,
database there, and that can be
yeah, because this is an interesting piece because every agent's a little different. And I've been doing a lot of one-on-ones lately, especially with the coaching. Um, and everybody's a little different. Some are very good about making personal touches and making their phone calls, and whether they're using a system now or a spreadsheet or their tablet, whatever.
yeah.
That's one thing I can tell you is IntelliAgent does have some great task management. So you can put those database into there, and then that can, definitely hit the hot points as far as, giving you the alerts and notifications to make those same very phone calls. Now, where it gets tricky is that if you don't have the time to do that, or you don't have any systems in place, and you just want to stay in front of your people, that's what this system is really designed for, right? Because then if it is, say, people from open houses, or you had some buyers that needed to be nurtured, um, they're not going to be sending a CRM to them and sending emails or points of contact. Now, I have a system that I use that we can incorporate, and we can use that if necessary. But their system is really designed for open house people, or people that you're trying to get in front of. Maybe it's a builder, right? But because what they'll be doing is they're going to be calling, trying to schedule appointments with you. And so keep that in mind, that that's really what their scripting is for. And that's why I was just talking to Wayne about, because we're coming up with some different agents with some different books of business, and we want to be able to accommodate all of those. And so that's why we're looking at various options to, maybe it's something where the agent has their own scripting and they just need somebody to make the phone calls for them. And
Okay.
so that's what we're looking to accomplish, is be able to kind of mold ourselves into whatever's necessary on your side as the agent.
Yeah, well, what I love is that you guys are super proactive with helping us kind of drive business. Um, the promotions that you have with the consumer credit is great. Hometown Heroes is another good way to kind of get a niche going. Transaction coordinator, paying for half of the TC fee is fantastic. Like, who does that? But we just closed a loan with you last month, right? And here's all the breakdown of all the things.
Yep,
Um,
different programs.
yeah, and we closed completely remote. We didn't even have to go in to sign anything. All the docs were given to us a couple days ahead. We were able to review and sign them, and then we scheduled with a remote notary. So that was really great. Really, really had a good experience with that as well.
Yep. Yeah, no, and I love that, and I appreciate you bringing that up, because there's nothing better than, as an agent, being able to experience what your clients are going to experience.
Yeah,
And because if you had a good experience, then you can be a raving fan and be able to explain to them what they're going to have as well as that experience.
yeah.
And it works really well.
Yeah, and then the Spasm Business Systems, if you haven't seen some emails on this, I know I sent a few out, and there's also information on this in IntelliAgent under Fathom tab. If you go down to the resources tab, there's information about this in there. But basically, Encompass is sponsoring this. This is just information about the local market. But Encompass is sponsoring the Fathom Business Systems. That is just another value add that they're doing for us. They've hired a corporate coach who is holding weekly trainings, I think is where it's going.
Coach Wally.
Yeah,
Yep.
Coach Wally. So there's a Facebook page for this. If you haven't seen that, join the Facebook page. You can go into Facebook and probably even look for the Fathom Business Systems group and join it, so you can see these trainings, and then you're going to
Yep.
jump into the Facebook page to grab the links. But
And they should have their website open already this week,
yeah,
which then they will have a recording of the first meeting a couple weeks ago on it. And then they will have the recording for tomorrow's meeting on there as well, if for some reason you can't attend.
yep. Cool. All right. Is there anything else? Does anybody have questions they want to run past Brad here? I know we're right at the half hour.
Yeah,
Definitely open to questions, please.
I wanted to know about the Hometown Heroes. Like, it's about $40 per month, right? To join Hometown Heroes?
No monthly charge.
No monthly
So
charge?
no monthly charge. So Hometown Heroes is a program, is free to you. You do have to get certified. So if you want to post your email, or just text me, send me an email, I can then send you back registration information. Or I can just have Krista just send it out. I'll send it to her.
Yep.
For those that haven't been onboarded yet, we do have some. We ran a campaign. We were trying to really get everybody on board, but of course we have new agents that have come on board in between, and so we're working on that. With that, once you certify, then you will get your marketing portal turned on. In that marketing portal, you will be able to have a landing page. which then co-brands you as a Fathom agent with being a hometown hero agent. You'll be able to order business cards. You will have also some marketing pieces, and you can order banners, you can order signage, flags, kites, whatever. They have a whole portal of stuff that you can order. You can even go as far as getting the logos and ordering t-shirts, hats, anything of whatever you need to be able to jump into the Hometown Hero family and be able to start promoting it. And like I said, there's a few different strategies, but yeah, it's all free to you.
But once I tried that and I tried to register, and I had some of my clients register, and that lead does not come to us, although it's our lead. We found a client, and the lead goes to Hometown Heroes CRM, not to us.
Is that on your webpage, or are you using just Hometown Heroes website?
No, Hometown Heroes, it was co-branded to me at that time. I had there was at that time when I joined, it was a monthly fee.
I don't think it's ever been a monthly fee.
Send me an email offline on
Okay.
what you're referring to, and then I will take it up with Mark and see what is happening on that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's a different program because I don't think it's
No.
ever had a fee. So we can work that out. It says Amarita. I know it says
Yeah, I'm Rita.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we can help you with that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get that straightened out for sure.
Brad. How
Yes,
are you?
sir.
Hey, so
I'm doing excellent, Brandon. How are you?
I'm interested in doing this platform with you in terms of lead generation. I know we spoke on it once.
Yes.
And my main thing, the few questions I have that I've been thinking on is is there like a platform or CRM where we can track that progress so that we can see what's happening with those candidates? With those
So great question.
Are
And
the
yes,
conversations recorded?
so if Real Results is doing it, yes, they do have recording capabilities. Now, that's also, so you were part of my discussions on everything that you heard me talk about today, based on our conversations earlier. But so right now, we're also launching a new CRM, lead management, I should say, on the back end of Encompass Lending through Monday.com. And so we're waiting for the build out on that because we're going to be able to launch that to you guys so that then if we take something like that and we put it in there, you'll have access to see the status of those leads accordingly. And so that's why, we're actively working on other options other than Real Results, because if we build this out and we start launching it to everybody, they're not gonna be able to have the bandwidth to do it. So that's why we're looking at various options on that. And you're part of that, based on our previous conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other
And then is there enough agents in our network, Krista, in order to send these leads to on a referral basis?
Yes, depending on where you are. I think we had a conversation about that. And yes, I have several people that are in the areas that you're working, so that would not be a problem. We could support that.
Okay. Because I would really like to support the lead generation side of things.
Yeah.
And kind of jump on board with you guys, and
Yeah, I think it's a great
I
benefit.
get to be a financial driver on that end of it, right? And so I'd really like to work with you guys and whoever else to kind of help get things rolling.
Yeah.
And
like
like a big database, like
Yeah.
do something worthwhile.
For that, so I'll connect.
Absolutely. And that's why we are, in the process of trying to figure out some details on that. Because with Monday.com, it has the capacity and the bandwidth to, example, Krista would be brought in with you, Brandon, underneath her, and then those leads would be able to be tracked. And then if there was an appointment set, boom, that could go to Krista, and then she could just distribute that to the proper area based on location. But yeah,
I'd
you would still be
really
able to see
like
it.
to start doing that. But I really want to see like that whole structure.
Yep.
And so I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
What's your timeline on that? Like beginning of the year?
That's kind of what we're thinking, yes. But we're trying to do it sooner than later because we know leads have a expiration date.
Yeah.
So even if you started small and you just kind of, ramp it up, I think that's the better approach than the snowball.
Yep,
I think
100% agree.
start with a few and kind of track it. And the Fathom Business Systems, just so y'all know, is not company wide. It is only for a few areas. Like as Brad said, he's part of the West Coast, and I don't think even all the states in the West Coast are
Correct.
involved in that. It's our state and a couple others.
Yep.
So we have the advantage of kind of getting in there first and seeing what it is and taking advantage of that. So I would definitely jump into those. Those are all free for you. And then feedback is really appreciated because we will roll it out nationally as we go forward.
Yes,
When
and it
are like those calls to like, what, like who's on those calls and can I get invited?
so the one tomorrow's coming up. The one we had 2 weeks ago, we had about 45 agents plus the DDs plus the coaches plus us and Encompass. So I mean, altogether, it was. What would you say, Krista? Probably about 70 people.
I would say so, and that was the week I was on vacation, so I was not there in person.
That's right. You didn't make it. Yeah.
But I'm going to drop the link in the Zoom chat here. And there was an email that went out already on this. If you
Yep.
go to the Facebook page, that's Fathom Business Systems Facebook page, you will see all this data as well.
Oh yeah, I just added that. I
Okay.
recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, be on the call tomorrow. You'll see a lot. You'll gain a lot, and you will experience a lot. It's they're definitely it's real robust coaching at a high level that somebody would pay thousands of dollars for. That's
Yeah.
the best way to put it.
Coach Wally will be.
This is coaching or this is so I guess what I'm looking for is the conversation on the build out of the lead generation program, not really coaching.
Okay. So that would be probably a smaller meeting between you, me, and Brad.
Yep.
Fathom Business Systems is the newer version of what Fathom's
Yeah.
coaching is going to look like going
Yeah.
forward. But
Yeah.
they're launching it with us.
And so to that point, Brandon, because of Fathom Business Systems, coming on board, and at the same token, right after you and I last spoke, now we're looking at incorporating everything and bring everything kind of all together in one hub is kind of what's happening right now.
Yeah, you're kind of just like structuring it. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'd love to set up a meeting and kind of learn more and learn what that would look like with you guys.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's funny you happen to be on the call and you bring it up because I was going to call you later this afternoon anyways, because I had just had a call this morning with my boss about this very topic. And now I have some, I had some more clear updates, which now we're sharing here, but I was going to reach out to you anyways.
Cool.
So you saved me a call. But it's because it's beneficial for everybody.
I like
That's
popping
why
on
I didn't take it offline. Yeah.
I like popping on and saying hi.
Yep.
Yeah, all good. Anyone else have questions about partnering up with Encompass or services they provide?
Even if it's just a scenario from some dialogue or engagement you had over the weekend, we're open to that too. Quiet group.
Is everyone in here agents?
Yes, everyone else is an agent.
Cool. How's everyone doing? Like, how's everyone's market? Everyone's local, right?
Local is
different parts, but yes, mostly around.
Yeah, you got Santa Clara County on here. You have Contra Costa, Sacramento, Sutter Butte, Lucan. Where are you at? It's not Sutter. What is it?
Lake County.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you, everyone. I'm Brandon Yuki, obviously, as you can see.
I think
I'm an agent in Sacramento, and then I also have a farmer's agency. So
yeah, usually
I have a couple listings usually. So if anyone is in the Grass Valley area, I got a really great deal.
That would be me.
Perfect. I think if we had some more interaction, I think everybody would agree and say the same thing, that right now everything's kind of quiet until the elections tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think we're gearing up for a busy early spring market.
I agree.
It's going to be very buyer client focused. So the more you can get out your message of, hey, here we got all these programs for buyers. It doesn't necessarily need to be first time buyers, but The Hometown Heroes covers nonprofits, civil servants, education, medical, all of that. So a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um,
So just take the nonprofit for as an example. Churches are nonprofits, so you can actually, if you belong to a church of any sort, you can actually go in, talk to the pastor, who's usually an employee of the church, and any other of the other employees, and that's a great place to start just on that alone. So there's definitely some different strategies there to tap in and utilize Hometown Heroes to start generating leads.
yeah. Anybody else have a question for Brad? All right. Brad, do you want me to send out that slide deck? Is that helpful?
Yeah, go ahead and send the slide deck, and then I will. So it's at the top of your inbox. I know I sent it to you before, but I'll send you the registration link for Hometown Heroes so you can share that with everybody as well.
Okay.
And then Amrita, send me what you experienced, and send me your link also, and then I will take that up and get some clarity on what that challenge is.
Yeah. we can
Sure,
do
I'll do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Usually at the beginning of the call, I ask you to put your contact information in the chat so that y'all can communicate offline. I didn't do that today just because we jumped in and Brad was hosting. However, if you guys want to set up a one-on-one with Brad, I highly recommend you jump in and do that quickly. We have about 160 agents in our district, which means that's 160 conversations for Brad. So I'm trying to give you guys that come on and engage the first crack at that and getting your system set up. So please take advantage of that. I think his contact information was on the email I sent out today also.
I just put it in the chat.
Okay, cool. So grab that from the chat. We've got just another minute or so, and then I've got to jump off. Does anybody else have anything they want to run past Brad, or do you feel like you've got what you need for now? Okay. Brad, I appreciate you taking the time to kind of explain and share some of the different ways that Fathom can be, the Fathom agents can be working with you.
My pleasure. I'm just happy to help and here to support and serve.
Exactly, because that will help everyone, right? The rising tide is going to
If you're winning, we're winning, and your clients are definitely winning.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, y'all, have a good week, and I'll send out this recording probably first thing tomorrow with the attachments. If you need anything before that, shoot me a text, okay?
See you guys.
Awesome. Great to see everybody. Brandon, we'll be in touch once I get some more concrete information for you.
Great.
Sounds good. Talk to you guys
Awesome.
later. Bye, Krista.
Bye, guys.